everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for coming. I think you know me. I'm KP Gresham, otherwise known as Kathy to all of my friends who all happen to be here, so there you go. This is the launch party for the Murder on the Third Try. It is in the Pastor Matt Hayden Mystery Series. I'm going to introduce you all to each other so that you know who you are. Okay, first of all, raise your hand if I've been in your critique group. Okay, this is the community that has helped me get these books put together. Noreen back there is just trying to sit down and not be noticed, is the Sisters in Crime president for the Heart of Texas. And you are? Chapter. And here's the deal. That is an incredibly supportive group of people. Some of them have Y chromosomes as well. And it's this community that we have that really, that really gets us all going, that keeps me going as a writer. I wanted to let you know, so thank you all for coming. I wanted to let you know a little bit about the dedication for this book. It says that it is to Bobby. And Bobby is and was a dear friend of mine. This is her daughter, Gloria. And they are my family across the street. And my one regret about this book is that I didn't get it finished before Bobby passed away. But to give you an idea of what Bobby was like, Bobby was my kind of girl. I would love to be like Bobby. She was a Christian woman, but she wasn't a fake. She lived in reality. She was born in New York and grew up there. And she didn't have any. She didn't have any, well, because you're from New York. She did not have any prejudices or hates that sometimes nowadays are being associated with those who call themselves Christians. And she was nothing but love. And since that's what this book is all about, that's why it's dedicated to Bobby. Okay, so if you don't mind, I'll go ahead and perhaps get a little reading here. And then we can party again. Okay, Murder on the Third Try by moi, Chapter 1. Where the hell am I? Michael Hogan Jr. had returned to Earth, that much was certain. He was pretty sure he was in a hospital bed. The buzzes and beeps around him suggested he was wired to some mighty expensive equipment. And when he tried to open his eyes, he discovered a thick wrapping blocked his view, which was fine with him. His head was spinning in waves of pain and fog, and he wanted only to go back to sleep. He had no idea what day it was, what time it was. Heck, he didn't even know how long he'd been out. He knew one thing for sure, however. Mike Hogan had been to heaven. Even now, he retained the feeling of being enveloped in a luminescent, pure, tangible love, a rushing fullness that had encircled him, filling his eyes and ears and his mouth as if he was floating in a womb of love. He was lured to a bright light at the center of this euphoria. As he'd drawn closer, he realized that the light was really a man, exuding an almost blinding radiance. And then he'd seen his dad, Michael Hogan Sr., and his brother Bryson. On Earth, both were dead. Here, in this heaven, they were alive, and smiling, and welcoming him to join them. He wanted to, but something had called him back. Something unfinished. Had he told his father and brother that he loved them before turning from the light? He didn't remember. Now sounds began to filter through the memory, and he was curious as to where he was. People were speaking in low voices. Then he felt a covering being pulled back from his feet. "Pastor Hayden, it's Nurse Becky," a woman said. "Can you move your toes for me?" Odd. She seemed to be speaking to him, but why was she calling him Pastor Hayden? His name was Mike Hogan. He felt a light slap on his foot. I was too tired for this. The nurse spoke again, this time her voice a little louder. Now, Pastor, I know you can hear me. Just give me a little old wiggle and everything will be right as rain. Mike flexed both big toes just to shut her up. Now that's just fine, the woman said. Here, let me get you bundled back up snug as a bug in a rug. Bug in a rug? Little old wiggle? Who talked like that? As she pulled the covers back over his feet, Mike concentrated on the other voices in the room. Everyone seemed to be talking like her. Folks didn't speak with drawls in Miami. Puerto Rican or Cuban accents maybe, and of course the nasal clip of a New England transplant, but Southern drawls? Wasn't he still in Miami? It's all right with y'all is it all right with y'all if I come back in? This came from a different one, but her drawl didn't bother him. It soothed him. Of course, said the nurse. I see you found the coffee machine. A little caffeine and I'll be right as rain. This new voice was husky and distinctly female. He remembered red hair flowing around a beautiful Irish face. What was her name? The good Lord sure been good to your Pastor Hayden. He's doing fine, the first voice said. The plate they inserted isn't putting too much pressure on his brain, is it? I think those surgeons know exactly what they're doing, came the reply. Your man here is in the best level 1 trauma center in Central Texas, and he just moved his toes. Thank God. There was a tremor in the husky voice. Texas? What was Mike doing in Texas? He's going to get better now, the woman continued, her voice still shook. Right? Mike heard a heavy sigh, then the nurse spoke again. His brain might swell more, but that's to be expected. The doctor explained that, remember? So he's going to get worse before he gets better. It's possible, but we're watching him like hawks. We'll know if something isn't right. I'll be at the desk if you need me. Mike heard the swish of a curtain and several footsteps padded away. There was a pause, then someone took his hand. Matt, it's me, Angie. Angie. Yes, that was it. Her voice was closer now. I got some coffee, but I'm back now. Everyone says you're a lucky man. The bullet took off the top of your skull, but never actually penetrated the brain. It's a miracle you weren't killed, Matt. Why was she calling him Matt? Mike wondered. He was Michael Hogan Jr. It was all so confusing, but he knew Angie, and he knew he loved her. I'm here beside you. You're not alone, she continued. And you're going to be okay. Now he heard a sob behind her words. You rest as long as you need to. I'll be here. He felt her hand on his. It was soft and warm. He wanted to move his fingers somehow to reassure her, but he was so very tired. He needed to go back to the sweet memories of heaven. Talking was too difficult. He wasn't sure he remembered how. And the comfort of letting go was so beckoning. With great effort, he squeezed her hand, then finally gave in to the simplicity of thought that beckoned. Page break. I hope to hell Chief Rutledge doesn't answer the encrypted satellite phone he gave me to use. This is one call I don't want to make, but I have no choice. I must tell him Hogan is still alive. My first shot got by the pastor, but the second one, hell, if that stupid dog hadn't started barking, that's what made Hogan duck. I must have grazed him, but damn, there was so much blood. I want another shot of Jameson's, but decide against it. Gotta keep my story straight. If I play it right, I don't need to let on that Hogan might know I'm the one who shot him. It was 1 a.m, but that moon was full, which was one reason I was sure I wouldn't miss. Damn that dog. The chief cuts me a lot of slack, and he should, but this is too big for him to let slide. One way or another, I'm dead if Hogan saw me. Please, God, let that man die in the hospital. So just a few more things. I have a sign-up sheet for my email list in the back, and Gloria, my buddy, is passing out raffle tickets. So we have, let's see, an interesting basket, an assortment. I'll tell you about that when I get back there. And 2 bottles of wine, Texas wine. Yes.
And what's your website?
Oh, and my website is www.kpgresham.com. But before you turn that off, I want everyone to understand what a gem Malvern bookstore is. Their support of the writing community is second to none in this town. So just wanted to get that on the record. Thank you for hosting me yet again. And you guys just keep on doing what you're doing. You're awesome. So thank you all for coming.